you doing?
Hello.
We're still awake. Ryan, we're already live. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How did
You
Manchester
know,
United do?
how do we do? What do you think?
I
Let
don't.
me ask you that. What do you
I,
think?
I didn't watch the game. I saw when you guys were down by a goal, but I was like, that's just temporary. I felt like United would come back, pull off the win.
Yeah, 2-1. Ended 2-1.
Okay.
Ended 2-1. Uh, I hope Ryan did not. He's not having trouble connecting.
Make sure my shirt is visible.
I see that. Oh, you're rocking the tent, the
I'm
tent
wearing
floor.
black. I'm wearing black because it's a funeral, but it's all good. It's all good.
Oh man, Arsenal, Arsenal, Arsenal. uh, I don't know where to start from with you guys, honestly speaking, because I thought you
Trying to.
guys were supposed to run the table.
Oh, are we? We're going to talk about that. Okay.
I remember the running the
But
table
look,
comment. I'm still waiting.
in my defense, when I said we would run the table, we had 13 games left, and I said, well, maybe I didn't say it publicly. I said it to a few people. I expected us to pull off 30 points out of 39 points. So right
Okay,
now, since that time, we played 5 games, and I believe out of 5 games, obviously you have 15 points, and we've taken 8. So we dropped points at Burnley, West Ham, and then Liverpool. So the next 8 games, they're against like I think the toughest game in that mix is Chelsea. So we'll see what happens. I still think we can run the table. We have 22 points out of 24, and I'm good. But I'm not. I mean, I think we could run the table, but obviously our coach has different plans. So I don't think he cares to run the table. Let's put it that way.
okay. So it's I guess it's Europa or both.
It's completely Europa bust, man. I think that was his plan after we talked about it on the podcast when I had the two Stevens on 2 weeks ago.
Hmm.
It was I think he saw the writing on the wall with Burnley. So after that Burnley game where we were unfairly not given the penalty, handball not called, not even looked at. I think he was like, you know what, if we're just gonna drop points like this, what's the point? I'm pretty sure
Okay.
that was what he did. But I mean, I just felt like, and Steven said it. He had made a good point that day. He was like, it's not we weren't supposed to lose that. We weren't supposed to give up on the league, pretty much.
Okay.
Ryan's
Hey
on.
man, thanks for
Hey
joining.
guys, no worries, no worries. Thanks for having me. How are you all doing?
Pretty
I'm
good.
okay.
Pretty good.
I'm okay. Just sure you're happy.
Do you know
uh,
what? It is what it is. It's the season.
That's
It's the
true.
way the year's been going. It's the way the year's been going. Under any other normal season circumstances, I'd be a lot happier. But you know,
I got you. I got
we move.
you. We
like
move too.
everybody says.
Yeah, we move.
So I'll take to anybody watching. Thank you for joining our first live stream podcast. Our first live stream watch along was yesterday. It's our first live stream pod. Engage us in the comment sections, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook. Send us questions, Liverpool questions, Arsenal based questions. I'll just kind of direct traffic, and I'll start with talking points. I guess it's better to start with Ryan. They won. So Ryan, who do you think was your man of the match from yesterday?
The man of the match. It's a tough one. So it's between 3 people: Fabinho, Trent, and Jota. I personally am going to go with Jota because he comes on. I know Fabinho absolutely bossed, the midfield. He's been absolutely amazing. But, it's the goals that you need at the end of the day to win you the games. He comes on, he gets 2. So I'm gonna give it to Jota.
Yeah, that was definitely my man of the match for sure.
Yeah.
Is there any
Yeah,
different
that's who I
thoughts?
thought. I think exactly what he said. You guys were doing what you needed to do, but until Jota came, the goals didn't
Yeah,
come.
exactly.
So,
That's it, and that's been the problem for the past, however many weeks.
right.
All those games that we got beat. I mean, apart from maybe Man City, We do all the right things, keep possession, all that. You can have all the 70, 80% possession you want, but at the end of the day, it's the goals that you need. I mean, it's always inevitable when you do all the build-up play, you don't get a goal, the other team goes away and snatches one. So, it's good to finally have someone that can put the ball in the back of the net. It's refreshing.
Oh man, yes, Liverpool struggles. I guess staying with you, Rose, jump to Arsenal. What do you think? Well, I guess it's kind of obvious, but for me, I've not asked you before. What do you think are the major problems that led to Liverpool struggles, in your opinion?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, myself.
That's you.
Sorry. Arsenal's troubles. I mean,
Liverpool. I mean Liverpool.
Liverpool's.
Let's
Oh,
start.
I think
Yes.
You did say
No,
Arsenal.
Liverpool.
you did say Arsenal. Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Oh, I said Arsenal. Okay, I meant
Yeah.
Liverpool. Liverpool struggles.
I don't know. I think it's the burden of finally becoming champions. Obviously, I'm not one to pin everything on, the players are injured. Injuries play a big part, of course. That's a given. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a team of some world class internationals, barring one or two players there at the back that are a bit inexperienced. You have to remember, in a lot of these games that we got beaten, we weren't under a tremendous amount of pressure. So the forwards have to take a lot of that responsibility. They weren't putting the ball in the back of the net, and these are the same front three that have been, who's the greatest front three, in world football right now. It's the same front three that were in that discussion, the last couple of years. So you can't just pin it all on the defense not doing the job. I think the forwards, Mane, I think, has been poor this season. He had a decent game yesterday, but his confidence in front of goal has been, well below par. Same with Salah. I don't think Salah's been fantastic. I know he scored all these goals this season, but when you really stop and when you watch Liverpool as in depth as any fan of any team does, you notice how many chances he's missing, and a lot of the time the chance he scored yesterday, that wasn't an easy chance. By all means, if he was to miss one like that, you'd almost forgive him. But some of his misses this season have been almost unforgivable. I think he's a bit erratic in front of goal. I mean, I love the guy to bits, and I'm never going to be on that, that Salah out bandwagon. I think anyone that says anything like that is an absolute idiot. Like, how can you say that? How can you say that? It's ridiculous. But obviously, I think just the fact that when you're the champions, obviously there's a target on your back. That goes without saying. Anyone in whatever sport or field or anything you do, when you're the best at something, people are looking out for you. Even if they have a poor season, they just want to have the right to say, well, we beat the champions. So between that and just confidence in general, I think that's been the biggest struggles. The injuries, I think that goes without saying. So I'm not going to use that as an excuse.
Okay, that's fair. Let's slide a little bit to Arsenal. EJ, I want to ask you an off-the-cuff question. I know we have some prepared conversation, but let me go to one off-the-cuff question. Why are you? Summarize why you are Arteta in. I want to understand because hold on before you say I'm one of those people like with him. If you remember, and I'll say this everywhere. I was one of the people that called it very very. I think he's a good coach.
Okay.
But now, over what I've seen for he's been there for like 18 months.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what he's going to be. And I'm being honest with you. Okay. I am not sure. So, you go. Take it from here. Why are you Arteta in?
The short answer is I'm not sure as well. But
okay.
Let's use Liverpool's game as an example. And I know I'm going to go back and then I'll probably answer your question with at the end. So this game we played yesterday against Liverpool, we're completely outmanned, outclassed, outgunned. At some point, it felt like we were outnumbered because I was watching the game and I was like, are there 13 Liverpool players on the pitch? They're covering us like white on rice. It was really bad. I felt it was the worst performance of the season for us. And then I thought about it. I think I put something on Facebook. And I'll preface this by saying, okay, maybe it wasn't the worst performance, but recency bias, I just saw the game yesterday. It was really bad. Let's call it that. I put something on Facebook after Salah scored the first. Was it Salah? No, Jota scored the first goal. I was like, this goal was coming. It was well deserved. And someone said that, no, Arsenal was not playing. No, I think I said, yeah, the goal is well deserved. We are being outmatched by Liverpool. And someone came and said, well, we're not outmatched by Liverpool. We're just not playing with Liverpool. Which, when you think about it, yeah, it's true. We did not play yesterday. We sat back the entire time. We invited the pressure. We were trying to counter attack. Fine. But we played Liverpool 4 times between last year and this year. We played them 4 times. And 3 of the times that we played them, we either drew, which you would say we won because we had to get a winner, but let's call them draws for the sake of this argument. And then we won at home, playing the exact same style that we played yesterday. We sat back the entire time. That game where we beat them 2-1 last year, that was we scored 3. We had 3 shots on goal, just like we did yesterday. We capitalized on Liverpool's mistakes. I will see where an Arteta coach who doesn't believe his team is up to par. Clearly, he set up his team that way because he doesn't think he can match Liverpool man for man. Otherwise, he would have gone out. We play with other teams. We don't play with City. We don't play with Liverpool. There's just 2 teams out of the entire league. So coming back to why I think Arteta is the man for the job, I think he knows his limitations. He knows his limitations with the squad. He's not doing anything more than he thinks he can do with this particular squad he has. And I said earlier before you joined, Ryan, I said Arteta has given up on the league. So what are we seeing him do? He's trying out players that ordinarily probably wouldn't start. He's messing around with the back line, putting in Chambers at right back, putting in, I don't know what center back pairing he's going to play next week. None of them are injured apart from David Luiz. I don't know. Yeah, he did have some kind of operation. So now everyone's auditioning for their role next season. He's turning over the team. I think everyone cannot be a liar. By everyone, I mean people like Pep Guardiola, even though I think sometimes he's gassing him up. Pep Guardiola, Mourinho, all these coaches that think he's a great mind. Even you think, oh yeah, you told me earlier the season or when he first joined that he was solid. He had a good plan. So the reason I'm in, I said all that to say this. The reason I'm still Arteta in is because I think we need to give him the time. I don't think Arsenal has the luxury of turning over coaches every 4 years or every a year and a half. And okay. I think I can call if I'm against the coach, I'll call them. You guys knew I was against Emery after 2 months. I'll call him out. I'm not patient with everyone. I'm not patient with everyone. Even though I'm preaching that people should be patient with Arteta, I think if we catch Arteta on the rise, if we give him these years, the same way Liverpool gave Klopp those years, and I hate to compare the two. The only reason they're comparable is because Liverpool gave Klopp time and Klopp turned around the team. He turned over players. Obviously, Klopp has more experience than Arteta does. I say let's give this guy time. I'm team Arteta, 3 years. After that,
so this is the point.
I agree. I agree with what EJ is saying. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't just expect a coach to come in to a team, inherit the same players, and just suddenly everyone. I mean, every team in the league, I don't care what team it is. Look at all these over the years. Any team that's sort of struggling in the relegation zone, whenever they change their manager, maybe the first game you might see a bit of a change and you're thinking, oh my God, is this what this team was capable of the whole time? They'll win the first match and then before you know it's like, crash back to old ways. So to have a go at managers all the time, I mean, you can shout, oh, why isn't this player playing? Why isn't it? A lot of the times the manager will play those players and when he puts them on the pitch, they don't go and do anything. A lot of the time we blame the manager, but the players have to look at themselves and psych themselves up. They're playing for their own pride as well. Aubameyang yesterday. I mean, in fact, apart from was it the charity shield, community shield when he scored against us, he hasn't done anything. When you watch him play in the league against Liverpool, he disappears. In fact, what was the stat last time? The most touches was when he was at the centre circle taking kickoff. This is a world class striker that would probably walk into any team on the planet, and he went missing for 90 minutes yesterday. So what's his excuse? That has nothing to do with with Arteta. He just picks the players, and hopefully you think they'll have some pride about themselves and go out and deliver. Odegaard has been unreal this season. Odegaard is an absolute ball. I mean, obviously you missed Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe yesterday because those two guys are absolutely. I think Saka is head and shoulders the best player in Arsenal team, maybe not by reputation but by performance this season and tail end of last season. So you're missing players as well, but at the end of the day you can't just blame it on the manager. Okay, fair enough, maybe the the whole playing out the back. I've never felt, some teams can do it, some teams can't. I've always been very, on the edge when I watch Arsenal try and play out the back, because I honestly don't think they've got they're confident enough at the back to play that way. Personally,
do you see us yesterday? Did we play out of the back yesterday? No, we didn't do that. Because if we had done that, you guys would have killed us.
Oh yeah, more than and in fact, the one time that you did do it straight away, like in the first. And I mean, see, things like that. Maybe if your coach is drilled it, regardless of what happens, I don't care if you can see 10 goals, you will play that way. Now, if you've got a manager that is insisting that you play that way, then fair enough. Maybe you can start saying, "Yeah, look, this coach is an idiot. Well, what the hell is he thinking?" But I mean, like I said, the hunger there, Lacazette has been really good in the last couple of weeks. But even him, he tried. But they have to play for their own pride at the end of the day, not just leave it to the manager. In his interview, Arteta was saying, it's my fault. I don't think it was his fault. I mean, what else is he supposed to do?
Exactly. What else is he going to say though? The buck stops with him, right? That's what they always say.
Exactly.
I think Arteta's a rookie manager. Everyone knew this going in. He literally has not coached another team in his life. So the expectations cannot be perfection. The expectation, you have to give him room to make his errors. You have to give him room to make his poor transfer decisions. One thing I saw yesterday that he didn't do that I was happy for was that Willian didn't come on the pitch. To me, that's progress. Willian was not there. But one thing about Arsenal fans, I'll say this very, very kindly because I am one of them, but I see them a lot. So Arsenal fans are very fickle. I call this a tree. Arsenal fans will blow with the wind. Someone plays good one day, they're here, he's the best. He plays bad the next day, he's the worst. We have to calm down. Literally, Arsenal fans that listen to me, calm down. It's not give Arteta time. Trust me. Give Arteta time. Let's see. After 3 years, there's nothing. Time is not running away. We're not doing anything. We're not going to win if we change our coach. Okay, we're not winning in 2 years. Give Arteta time. Let's see what happens.
I agree. So I'm the same. I agree.
So this is my question to you. I agree with time, right? But my final question to you, EJ, is what is the cutoff for this is not working? Because my opinion, if you end this season in around this position, which is a regression from last year,
yes,
that I don't know if that's good.
Right.
You said what?
Okay. All the teams regress this year, in my opinion. Yes. Okay, so let's do this. I remember December when we were languishing in 14th or 15th position. We're just hovering around relegation. What I said was by February, if we're still hovering around relegation, Arteta, they would have no choice but to let Arteta go. Even though I didn't believe they would, it's just that I don't think they would have let him take us to relegation, relegate Arsenal. So he passed that test. We're not hovering around relegation right now, by no shape or form. So I don't see where that affects his tenure at Arsenal this year. Now, and I don't see why that should affect next year as well. Because, we're probably not going to win Europa League. I'm not confident about that. I like to use the past to predict the future. Every time we play Europa League, we're out by semis or quarters and final. So we're going to be out probably at some point. Hopefully, knock on wood, we try to win that because that's an avenue back in. But EJ is not mentally putting my eggs in that basket right now. Okay. But so what if he doesn't win this season? Get him another transfer window. He's going to move at least 5 players out. Some of those players have to turn over the team. And then once you turn over the team, let him make his mistakes. I think Ceballos was a mistake. I'm just throwing out names. Nani has to go. I think Laka has to go. Chambers, I think, has to go. So I know we're going to talk about him too, but I think he has to go. So a few people have to go, turn over these players, get new people in, see what we can do. People that he thinks can suit his style. William was a mistake. Let him go. I don't think he can let him go. I think he's under 3 years. But yeah, those are the things I'm thinking about that needs to happen, that we saw happen in January, and we just need to keep doing it until now. This guy has his team. Are people playing according to his style, or is his style impossible to do? And then you decide from there. I think that's 3 years project. He has till 2022.
Okay.
Is that 3 years? 2023. When did he come? 2020. Yeah, 2023. My bad.
He came 2019, did he not? December 2019?
Oh yeah. Okay, so it's 2022. You're right. December 2019.
So what do you want to see at the end of 2022 so that we can bookmark this?
We need to be challenging for top four, top six, winning cups, competing.
Okay. All right. Well, EJ has taken the slow approach, patient approach.
Oh yeah,
Interesting.
patient man. If Liverpool could give Klopp 4 years, I did not hear Klopp out. I mean, I heard some rumblings of it, but they gave him 4 good years.
Two different scenarios. You said it by
I
yourself when you started.
I get
Two
it. I
different
get it. I get
scenarios.
it.
It's
I
two
get it. I
different
get it.
scenarios. Like people stop doing that. Two different scenarios.
So
At
he's
this
patient.
point, at this point in Liverpool's progress, they're already. I think they were making the Champions League final. At this point,
Ooh. Second
right?
season, first full
Yeah.
season,
I
Europa
think
League.
first
first
They were in
season
the
they had
Europa
the
League. I think that was the
Europa
Europa
League,
League
Europa
year.
League,
Yeah,
lottery.
Europa League final, but by
yeah, Europa League
2018,
final.
by 2018, you guys are making
Champions League,
Champions
we
League final.
lost. Yeah, we
That's
lost in the
that's
final.
4 years. That's 4 years.
Yeah.
No. He came
2 years
October
was the Euro. 2 years Europa League. 3 years
Yeah,
the
he
first
came in
loss in the Champions.
2014.
Yeah.
15. No, he came
15,
15.
15,
15.
15.
End
Okay,
of
so
Yeah.
3 years. So
Yeah.
3 years.
Yes.
See, 3 years is the magic number.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
2 years the magic number. Okay, no problem. Okay, let's go to Ryan. We'll come back to AJ in a bit. Should Liverpool put all their eggs in champion? Well, I guess the question now is, with how close you guys are in top four, it becomes like a weird question. But do you think you guys can go all the way in Champions League and just put all your eggs there and rest players? Because it felt like Klopp rested
I'm gonna
players
say
for how long? It felt like
no.
rested players for Arsenal. Like why didn't Wijnaldum start?
Wijnaldum, I think because he was involved heavily in the Holland's internationals. Possibly, I think that's the reason why. I mean, obviously, I think there's an eye because even Kabak came off in the 84th minute, so you don't want to take too many chances. Should we put all the eggs in the Champions League basket? No. So I think part of the reason they're doing so well in the Champions League is because there's no pressure on them. No one is expecting them to win it, and Liverpool, I think, historically will always be a team nobody wants to play in the Champions League. I don't care, fans, no fans. It's almost mythical how good they can be, in Champions League games because it's just one-off games. I think every player that has ever played for Liverpool that has featured in the Champions League, and when you look back, I mean, you might not know this, but when you watch some of the old champion, even like the silly Champions League matches where you play and you might not really pay too much attention to in the past, some of these fringe players that, if I was to bring up the names, a lot of people would have forgotten. Neil Mellor, Cinema Pongol, Anthony Letalek, some of these names that a half-hearted fan would not remember. These players, wore their heart on their sleeves on, Champions League nights. So I wouldn't put all the eggs in the Champions League basket, although I know fully well anybody on that steps on that field in the Champions League for Liverpool will play, 150%. With that being said, I think confidence is slightly picking up. Teams are starting to, squeaky bum time in the Premier League, with these teams, look at Chelsea yesterday, teams are getting a bit nervous. Tottenham today, teams are still going to drop points. Everton will drop points because that is Everton. They are the Spurs of Merseyside and they will mess up in one way or another. They will drop some sort of points between now and the end. And, nobody, I don't care who you are, no team likes to have someone, no matter how good you are, you don't want someone breathing right down your neck. I think Man City are the only team, home and dry at the moment. United are almost there, but they'll still have, a bit of nerves about them. I mean, even today was a nerve. I just finished watching it. Today was a nervous game for you a lot, but you hung in there. But I think you need to sort of. There's not that many games left. I think was it 2 quarterfinals, 2 semi-finals, and a final. 5 games, and then 8 more games. That's 13 games between now and the end of the season. If we were to go all the way to the final, but every game has to be treated like some sort of cup final between now and the end if you want to, at the very least, qualify for the Champions League. So you can't put all your eggs in one basket. That'd be very irresponsible to do with the quality of teams that are left in the Champions League. I mean, if they were to completely sacrifice the Prem, I mean, they could, for all we know, they could get blown away. But I mean, I think, knock on wood, They won't. But Real Madrid could, dismantle them tomorrow, and then that door's completely closed. So you just got to take each game at a time. I mean, that was the mindset last year, and it served us very well. Just continue to. I'm summoning my inner Jordan Henderson when I say not, and just take each game as it comes, and move on from there.
When you were very vocal on the group, but this season, Ryan, we're searching for you, finding Ryan.
You can find him.
Just like
oh my God, I've been. You don't understand. Like there's nothing. Like the season's been written off. Soon as after that Everton game, I knew like when Van Dijk got injured, Thiago got injured, that goal. I was like, nah, that's too many, significant moments all at the same time. That for me was the season write-off. And then when we were playing Crystal Palace, when we beat them 7-0, it sounds crazy. Sutton told me, I was like, well, you lot need to take it easy. Don't use up your entire goal quota. And I think that was the last game we scored for like 5 games. We didn't score again for about five games. And I just kept thinking back to that Crystal Palace match when I was, jokingly thinking, wow, I hope the goals don't suddenly dry up. And then sure enough, they did. Wait a second. We got Jota back, so I'm happy.
All right, okay, no problem. Coming from Zaza, I'll let EJ take this on. Zaza says Arteta has had only 3 transfer windows and he's already made this many mistakes. Wow. I think that's a comment.
What's 3 times 3? What's 3 times 3? 9. He's given 9 transfer windows. I think, okay, so the first transfer window was January transfer window when he just joined the club in December. You can't really, I think you have to call that a wash. The second one is the pandemic summer. We only got Partey, and then we re-signed half the people that were brought in on loan, like Pablo Mari and Cedric. That's a wash too. Then this January transfer window, who did we get? Did we get Odegaard in transfer window in January? I think that's who we got. I think, and then maybe Willian was over the summer.
Yeah,
and Gabriel was over the summer as well. So I think some of those transfers I think Pablo's really good. I think he's a good center back. Gabriel is pretty good, although he needs to be a little bit more consistent. Sometimes he just plays lazily and gives away the balls like you saw yesterday. He's done that at least 3 times this season. And then Odegaard, I think Odegaard is a good acquisition for us. He's only 22. And Real Madrid don't play him, and they don't want him. So I think we need to. And then he's moved out 5 people. He moved out 5 people this January. Players that we've never, like Ozil, people that were causing contention in the club. I love Ozil to death, but it was a very tricky situation. Mustafi that was holding us hostage. I don't know how, but I just felt like it was never going to go. Kolasinac. So these things are. We have to give him time to move these players. He can't move the entire squad. He can't buy the entire squad. So I think just saying it in that microcosm of just saying 3 transfer windows, it sounds like a lot, but think about what he did with those transfer windows. Are we saying that he didn't do good enough work? Or I think the only mistake there was Willian. I think that's the only the biggest error. And then maybe keeping Ceballos. I'm not. After that first game, he tricked me. I don't fall for people. He tricked me against Burnley, his first match. I fell for him, but not anymore. And after that, I was like, yeah, he's not special. He's okay. And someone told me to give him a chance because he's young, but I'm like, I don't like him. You can go back home. Go back home.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I agree with you, Ceballos. I think the last person I think is, it's, what's his name? David Luiz. That extra 1 year, I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah. That was strange.
Yeah. That was strange. But okay, next question says, Facebook user says, I guess it's from our Facebook group, my greatest fear is Liverpool win the Champions League. I suspect that's a United fan. If I won't take a guess, I don't know who that is. It is my greatest fear too. I wouldn't lie. I've said like this feels like, who was I talking to? This is like 2005 year for Liverpool.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It feels. That's why now that let's see if this Chelsea result is shaky. It's a one-off. Because if Chelsea becomes shaky all of a sudden defensively, then all bets are off. Because I picked Chelsea to go through in the semi-final if you guys meet each other, and I picked Madrid to even beat you guys. But now that you guys are kind of looking maybe somewhere back to your best, Yeah. If Liverpool gets to final, all bets are
Never
off.
know.
100%.
If that 2005 team was, that Jimmy Traore was in the team, for God's sake, and I mean,
Yes, I remember. That's what I'm saying.
2 Jimmy Traores isn't worth half Nat Phillips. So
that is probably the biggest carry job. The biggest carry job I've seen in my whole entire life in Champions League. Steven Gerrard, my goodness.
Yeah.
That year, I remember his performance.
Ended the game playing at right back. He was. I've never seen anything like it.
Against Juve, against Chelsea, the
Olympiacos.
semifinal.
Yeah.
That was just ridiculous. I remember that. Next comment is from Idris. It says, "Calm your ass." Don't worry, Idris. We know you want Chelsea to be there.
I mean, let me just say this: I don't think Liverpool is at risk of winning the Champions League this year. Sorry, Ryan. I think
neither do I. That's okay. I don't think we're going to win it either.
I think your best
it's just a novelty. We're
league.
Still in the competition at this point.
Yeah, I think your best route is definitely through the league. I think that's what Klopp also thinks that way, and that's why he was ready for Arsenal. They parked the bus like that yesterday. He killed us.
Only a fool would prioritize the Champions League and think, I need to forget about the league. There's too many games left to play.
Right, too many games, too many points, and that they're winnable. And you guys, your form is poor at home. You guys are playing at the Emirates. I thought, even the rest of us were like, okay, yeah, you're playing at the Emirates. That's not the same issue. They don't have an issue staying away from home. So we were scared. We were right to be scared. But you guys, I think I looked at your schedule. You may only have 2 or 3 more games at home. So if the jinx, and I'm superstitious a little, the jinx is still there. Sure, maybe you lose 3 games. But
who knows?
That's it.
Who knows? I've written this whole season off, by the way. Whatever happens, look, I switched off mentally a long time ago. That's why you lot don't see me. I'm hibernating until next year. I'm hibernating.
I want to hibernate.
DJ, this is a comment from CMR from the group saying Arsenal winning Europa is a high possibility. I'll be pissed. It's not going to happen. I've already, you know how you used to bring out your
I know how she feels. I
brought out the port for Arsenal. It's not happening. You guys are not Europa. It's not happening.
I don't know. I can't. We'll see. I don't know what
to the final. We'll be there too. We'll be there to stop you. Okay. That's what's going to happen.
Okay.
I'd love a United Arsenal Europa League. Oh my God.
Good, that would be
I would love it too. Honestly speaking,
that would be amazing.
I will honestly love it. So stay with EJ.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit Arsenal. Right back. I've seen this chart online, I think on Sky Sports also. Who do you think is Arsenal's best right back? Bellerin, Chambers, or Cedric?
Look,
who do you prefer to go on next? Yeah.
I mean, we need a new right back. I think that's the short answer. We need a new right back that going forward. But I think the one that will stay is, I think it's Bellerin. And people are going to disagree with me, but I think those 3 players, if you take away their strengths, individual strengths, you come up with the perfect right back. Like Bellerin has pace. Chambers has good positional awareness, and he's just a presence. And then Cedric is a good crosser, and he can make tackles. So that's why I think their 3 best strengths make the perfect right back. I wish one of them had 2 of them, but they really don't. So my thing is Cedric is just older. He's 30, so he will never be the one going forward. Maybe he's there as a bridge for someone coming in. Bellerin he's looked like he's played with us for years. He's been there since, I think, 2014, 2013, starting on the first team, or at least been in the first team since that time. But he's 26 this year, a little bit injury prone. Chambers is just really injury prone. Like Chambers played 3 games, he may be injured next game. So he cannot be the plan going forward. That's why I said earlier that I think Chambers will go. And I think Arteta is playing him as an audition to say, hey, okay, we use you, you're not up to par, it's time to go. He has some good games here and there, but he won't be the one going forward. So that's why I think at the end of the day, it will be Bellerin and we need to get someone else, a class right back. We haven't had a class right back in years. I don't who was the last class right back for Arsenal? Like arguably Sanya.
Sanya left. I think he's consistent.
Sanya left in 2014 after we won the FA Cup. So that's 7 years. So we'll see. But
I think a lot of the Wenger out folks need to do personally. need to do like a big like apology letter, like a huge letter, right? John, I'm being honest. I am being honest because at some point I was one of the people that said, "Oh yeah, maybe it's time for." I get the time for, but the way they vehemently chased him out of the club. This man did one of the most best patch job you can ever see in history of world football. Like keeping Arsenal with that squad, despite those 2 years, obviously they didn't make top for in the last 2 seasons. But those 2 seasons before, where they had like a very bad average squad, come fourth and I think third, those 2 seasons because they got Sanchez and Ozil and just had pretty much average to bombs around them. And he did those things he did those years is ridiculous, in my opinion. Especially when you look at the Premier League now.
Right. And I think what the reason you're appreciating it now is because you guys see how hard it is.
It's very hard.
But no one appreciated it back then, not even other fans of other clubs. They're like, "Oh, you guys are perennial top fours." You know, they didn't appreciate it back then. So I think I'll be kind to Arsenal fans that wanted him out, because I think he should have left in 2017 on a high. I think he was pushed out. Some people don't believe that, which is crazy. I'm pretty sure it was either leave or we fire you. He had like option between, fire, red, blue, deep blue sea. So yeah, he had to go, but I don't like the way he left. I wish he had left. I mean, I guess he left okay. I wish he had left in 2017 after he won FA Cup. Just leave on a high. But there was no plan anyway. There's no plan to replace him. It was a bad transition, very bad transition.
Yeah, I'm a big Wenger fanboy. I bantered him a lot at the time, but I was a big Wenger fanboy, and I could only admit it until he left. Because I think he performed miracles. Ryan Zata says you should pray you don't meet City in your path. Man City is scary. I think they are. They're my pick for Champions League. I say as angry as thinking about, I think they will win Champions League season. That's what I think. Anyway.
I'm the opposite. I would rather play all the hardest teams before the final. Because I'd rather lose before the final than lose in the final. It's too painful. Losing that one game is horrible. I got over it like that. The Real Madrid, when we lost to them, that hit, man. Oh my God, that was painful. I think I came off the group for like 2 weeks. I just didn't want to see. So I didn't see anything after that.
I celebrated so much. I'll never forget.
Oh, I'm glad you did. I didn't see. Yeah, and I didn't witness any. But I think historically we perform better when we play the tougher teams early on in the group. I mean, we got beat by Atletico last time, but we beat Barcelona, the year before. So bring on, the really tough teams. That's what it's about, you get them out early. The finals of it is someone easier left in the final. I mean, probably not with Bayern Munich and PSG still left in the tournament. But I'd welcome playing Man City in the well, we're not playing Man City in the next round, but we can actually only play Man City in the final, can't we?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the bracket's done already. It's done.
Yeah, the brackets are done. I completely forgot the draws have already been done. But
we have a league going on.
Yeah,
so that's what
if we play, look, it's uncharted territory for them. It's not uncharted territory for us. So
exactly, I think that's something you have to consider. It's definitely uncharted territory for Arsenal.
Yeah, and it's one game, and anything can happen. We'll see.
Okay, let's stay with you. Let's pick up some of the comments. Somebody say, okay, Siamara is trolling. She's a legend. I guess that's in response to Arsenal winning Europa.
I did not fall for it, Siamara. I did not fall for it. Sorry.
The next comment says Facebook is God forbid Arsenal win Europa. Please, we need to be objective. I want to believe that's a Chelsea fan. Maybe. I don't
know. They don't care about us. They're in Champions League. They'll be out. They'll be out in next round, not this round. The round after that.
We'll see. I think this is just unpredictable injuries. Zaga said, I think Arsenal need a new right back. I guess he's agreeing with your comment, EJ, about that. So that's good. Next comment is Idris saying, Idris Abel. Sometimes you never appreciate transition. Madrid and Chelsea have made it seem so easy. That is very correct. That is correct. Yeah, I agree.
Chelsea makes it easy because they give you 1 month and you're out.
That's
they
true.
spend all the money to come there.
Yes, I mean, if you think about it, they kind of probably have the same model, not the same ownership model, but just from the approach of, where, like you said, little time, we're going to invest heavily in players, and we give you X amount of time to deliver. If not, you're out. On to the next manager. Like, we don't care. So they pretty much pass the power, right, to the players.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
There's no
modern football.
sentiments, no sentiments involved whatsoever.
None. It's
Because
so
Mikel came out
hardcore.
the other day, right? Mikel came out the other day and literally admitted to player power. Like, yes, there were times we had to do things, pretty much admitting that they've planned in the past to get managers out. I mean, it's the reality of modern football. People need to know
it
that.
happens. It happens. I think a lot of the time we forget at the end of the day what it boils down to. It's a business.
Yeah.
It's a business. It's not a family or any of that. It's business. For us, it's like, our family that we fall out of love with or we hate. But, behind it all, it's money.
You're right.
Yeah.
So, Ryan, I'll stay with you. Konate, the other day we saw reports that the deal is almost done. Konate to Liverpool. What are your thoughts? What are your early thoughts of Konate and how you think that's going to be?
I'll be perfectly honest. My only knowledge of Konate, I know a bit more about Upamecano. Konate, I don't know too much about. In fact, the only time I've really watched him closely play is, when we played Leipzig. He looks, shaky in some moments, but he's young and it will happen. You can't write off a player after, a bad 2 legs. I mean, we do need a centre back, definitely, and I'm assuming if they're willing to spend the kind of money that is, the figures that are being thrown out there, if that's the kind of money that they're asking for, that he must be pretty good. So, I mean, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. We do need to strengthen up at the back. I think we made a huge mistake letting a number of our centre backs go earlier on this season and then not replacing them. We paid the price for that big time. I mean, even someone like Lovren would have been a general. Would have seemed like an absolute general at the back this season compared to who is featured back there and all the tinkering. That was the beginning of the end for us this season. But I guess really and truly, I need to see him play a bit more. In fact, I'll probably go out my way and watch. I don't want to say just watch his highlights, because I think that's a bit of a cop out. You can watch anyone's highlights. When I watched Kabak's highlights before he signed for us, he looked like the greatest defender of all time. I was like, boy, this is Paolo Maldini's best mate. It's never the case. I mean, he was the corners in the highlight reel I saw of Kabak. He was scoring a header every other game and just dominating aerially. I think Nat Phillips is better in the air than Kabak from what I've seen, up close. But he's a young kid, so you got to give him some time. We'll see what happens. But no, I'm definitely all for investing in a new centre back. That Konate kid, he looks strong, he looks quick. Again, just going off the game when we played against him, he probably needs a bit more composure because he was a bit erratic in those games. But then again, so was Upamecano. He wasn't great over those 2 legs either. But we'll see. I'm happy. We're linked to someone like that because the caliber of teams that seem to have been scouting him. When you hear the likes of Bayern Munich and Barcelona, looking at that sort of player, then he must be worth it.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I mean, I've watched him because I watch German league from time to time.
Yeah.
So I've watched him. He's very quick. He's very, very quick. I read scouting reports about him also. He's like, he's rapid, he's quick. He knows how to the one thing that his biggest strength is bringing the ball out of the back. So that's why I probably suspect that's what they're going for him. He's very good at progressing the ball from defense. His weakness is like he's actually not that he's also great in the air. So that kind of makes sense also. He's extremely good in the air. His rating. One of his major weaknesses is passing, though. His long passing is not really good. Yeah. His long passing, he loses the ball.
We can work on that. He can work on that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Van Dijk will teach him. Van Dijk will teach him.
Van Dijk will teach him. Okay, now here we go. Okay, let's pick up some of the comments before we move to EJ. Disaster says Chelsea managers are just coaches. They only coach the owner's fantasy team. That is 100% correct. I think Idris now responds, says word. Yep, that's that is 100% correct. EJ Odegaard. Is it Odegaard or Odegaard? I hear different names. I'm just calling it
Odegaard.
Odegaard. Okay, you have to do that to pronounce it. Odegaard.
There's a slash on the O.
Correct.
Don't ask me what that means.
What are your thoughts about Odegaard?
Norwegian thing. I like Odegaard. Yeah, obviously. I like Odegaard a lot. Like I said earlier, he's 22 and he can play. He can be that number 10 position. Like he can distribute the ball well. He can. I mean, you couldn't tell yesterday, obviously, but like I said, yesterday was a different thing. He was playing as holding midfield and disappeared for the whole match. But he's a good player, a good addition to the squad, and he wants to play. Like that hunger is there. Um, I think one thing I thought would happen when he came on was that ESR would be like hampered by his presence on the squad. But what I saw Arteta try to do was put ESR on the wing while he had Odegaard in the middle. So that tells me that Odegaard is a little bit, he's mobile, but that's going to be his position. He's not someone that we can shift around the way we can probably shift ESR. So that means he's not occupying the space that someone else absolutely needs to be in. So I think for now, for a club like us, that's, we're rebuilding, we don't have money, someone like him on loan coming here to do a job, trying to prove to so many people that he's, a good player. That's what we need. So we needed someone like him, and I think he had a very good March. Very good March. He obviously was our player of the month for the month of March. Very good March. We need to see what he continues to do. Yeah, I definitely think he's sharp. I like him. I like him a lot.
Okay. Since Ryan is a fan, I heard you mention the thing. So, what are your thoughts about Odegaard?
Odegaard, I think he's a an unreal player. He's so good. I never actually had really seen him play till this season, and I mean, one of my cousins in London, he's a huge Arsenal fan as well, and sometimes when we're playing Xbox Live and stuff like that, we'll tune out and we'll just both sort of have a little party watching the Arsenal match together sometimes. But from what I've seen, he looks a real talent. He's so comfortable on the ball. He's got an unbelievable range of passing. His composure is sort of beyond his years. I think that would be a major coup if Arsenal were to manage to keep him. I mean, I hope for their sake that because I'd love to see him remain in the Prem personally, because we all want to watch the best players play. I mean, there's not too many great ones at Arsenal now, so I wouldn't mind if they were able to get him. I'll let them have Odegaard, but I think he'd be great. He seems like the kind of player where you can build a team around him. That's how good he is. I mean, some people might say, "Oh, he hasn't done much, goals, assists, blah blah blah." But at the end of the day, you can only do your best with what's around you.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, in Arsenal are severely lacking in a couple of departments, and some of the departments that they're not lacking in, the players just they feel sorry for themselves sometimes. I mean, when you've got someone like Aubameyang up front, there should be no excuse. Look, just take it back, many years ago when Alan Shearer played for Newcastle. Now, apart from maybe 1 or 2 years where they were actually in there fighting for the Prem, Alan Shearer was banging in, 25 plus goals every year, regardless of how terrible Newcastle played. So when you were even look at Danny Ings. Danny Ings for Southampton aren't competing for anything, but Danny Ings doesn't have a day where he's like, whatever. He's getting involved. He's getting stuck in with everything. Yeah. And I mean, it's almost like lower league English grit. You get these types of players, the likes of Vardy, Shearer in the past. It's like certain mentality, almost like a working class mentality, where it's like, look, you pay me too much for me to feel sorry for myself, and I'm going to go out there and do my job. Some players don't have that mentality. They have the quality. In fact, they have superior quality to most players, but it's that mentality. It's something that I think you pick up from a young age. Sometimes certain players turn into divas. They know, well, if I lose this game, at least I'm rich at the end of the day. That's almost what it feels like. It's like this. There's no point even trying. But I realize I digressed a lot. But
I did see Klopp trying to talk to Odegaard.
Yeah, I did. I know.
Trying to stand back, fall back. Thank you.
It's like, look, you need to come play with it.
I was like, what are you doing? Why are you talking to him for long? Why are you hugging him?
The new Coutinho. You would fit in our team, though. We need that type of player.
He's a good player. He's really good. I did say that he could be the game changer for Arsenal for their season, because I just felt like ESR has been good, but eventually he will drop off. He's a young kid. Like, he could be a game changer based on his ball progression, like just what Arsenal needed. especially if he could translate his form, his form from Sociedad. He played last season. If he could translate his form from La Liga to the Prem, because he didn't really play on the first half of the season. So but I think what's his release clause? EJ, do you know his release clause?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Yeah, because I know he has a release clause. I don't know. I'm not sure. I've heard like ridiculous amounts, 100 million, something like that. Like,
I don't know if that's it. That don't seem right.
That doesn't seem right. Okay, let's go to top four chat. Let's just do like a quick roundabout top four chat. I'll start with United. At the game, I mean, United games now have kind of, in my opinion, have just been, apart from the odd game, it's all about moments. He's Solskjaer is trusting his players to work the spaces, figure it out by themselves. He's just going to put them in position, let them figure it out, work the spaces. So it's always going to be like ebb and flow, especially when we meet teams who can like keep the ball better. So it's always going to, like you said, it was an uninspiring game, but at the end of the day, like getting points on the board, right? So you cannot really be too critical about getting points on the board at this point of the season, right? So for me, I'm just looking at, I think for the fans, right, it would be good if you can win the Europa Cup, because we should not be there in the first place, right? We fell out from Champions League in there. So, and we have the best squad left. I think out of everybody left, we have the best squad, best individual players in the squad. Let me be clear. So I think we do. So we should be winning it, I think. So for today's game was just very kind of what I expected. Brighton would play, keep the ball well, and we would try and have moments, and we just have better quality, right? So we took our moments and we came back to win. So that was good. So those are my thoughts about United for sure. Leicester. Let me go to EJ. You think Leicester can win the FA Cup? Let me be more specific.
Wait. Where are they in the FA Cup? They're not in the final yet. Semi-final.
They're in semi-final. They're playing Southampton.
Oh, they'll beat Southampton. That should be simple.
Yeah.
Every time they meet them, exactly. I have no confidence in Southampton, whatever. But if they meet City or Chelsea, okay. Chelsea, they have a chance. City, they have no chance. That's my final answer. So I don't think they can win it. No.
You don't think they can win it? Okay.
No.
Okay. That one of you, Ryan.
You never know. I mean, we'll see. I can't remember what year it was when Liverpool beat Crystal Palace 9-0 in the league and then lost 4-3 to them in the FA Cup semi-final, or the semi-final, I think it was. So you never know. Anything is possible. I personally do think Leicester will beat Southampton in the semi-final. They seem to be a bogey team for City. So City's in the other semi-final, aren't they? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Who they play?
City,
Chelsea. So I think City will beat Chelsea. But I mean, if Leicester play City in the final, I mean, we've seen historically Leicester don't mind going toe to toe with City, and a few times they've come up trumps and got the win. So I think it'll be a really good game.
Lose finals? You guys know more than me. Does he lose in finals?
He will this time. I don't know.
I think he's lost the German Cup final, if I remember.
Okay.
I vaguely remember him losing the German Cup final to Klopp in Bayern Munich. I think so. I vaguely remember that. Vaguely. I think so.
Possibly.
Well, right. He hasn't lost a final in a long time. He mostly doesn't lose finals, but hey.
Okay. It's not about business. My team isn't playing him. But
I think Chelsea's going to win that.
The FA Cup?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. No, I don't know about the FA Cup. I think Chelsea's going to beat Knockout City.
Okay.
Beat
City. Okay, and get to the final.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm predicting, that Chelsea will knock out City. Just because of one-off game, they have the type of team. If everybody's fit, especially if you go to Kante.
I think City's strength, like the depth in that team, is if you took City's first 11 and the second 11 and put them in the league, they're both finishing top three. With ease. That's how good City's the depth in that squad is. Because I mean, you watch them play. The fact that Phil Foden, you can take him in and out of the team. He's England's. I mean, apart from maybe Raheem Sterling, he's by far England's most talented player at the moment. The kid is absolutely unreal. He doesn't play like an Englishman. He's so skillful. I mean, he's so versatile. It's literally like when he signed for the team, they told him, just, you're David Silva's apprentice. Just watch everything this guy does, and base your game off that. And he's taken it. He's got photographic memory or something, because I just love watching the kid play. I can't stand City, but he is talented. But I envy how much depth, and I think that's where we don't stand a chance. Competing with City. He won the league last year. I knew deep down, we're not as good as this City team. We're having a better season than them, but toe to toe, they are the better team in every aspect.
The way that I think the squad construction that City has done with the money they've spent, it's been really, really impressive.
And it's sustainable. And it's a sustainable one as well. That's more important.
Because they've done it based on like for like.
Like for like.
I try to explain that. I mean, like the drop off, the drop off in quality when you switch people out isn't as great. That is the one thing that they've done that is very, very impressive. It's very, very impressive. Zaza's comment is social wants chaos. The stream thrives on some orderly chaos, which works a lot. That's fair. That's what he does.
He's right. He's absolutely
yeah, that's a fair comment. Let's now digress into Chelsea. What do you think is the city for Chelsea this season? I know EJ is a big Tuchel. EJ,
I'm not.
I'm going to call you out a little bit on this spot.
Okay, go for it. Go for it.
I'll call you out because I feel like you've done this thing where let me make a controversial, outrageous statement like, "Oh, he's going to suck. He's going to be terrible." And that's what you said.
I didn't say that at all.
You did actually. You did.
No. What I said was that he's going to fail at Chelsea. I didn't say he was going to. Maybe I said he was going to suck. But the whole idea is that Chelsea. All I know is that Tuchel is not going to be what Chelsea thinks he currently is, and what they expect from him, because the expectations always rise after 1 year, and he's not going to meet them by the end of next season. So that's my thing. And I think, yeah. So wait. So what is he now? How many? He's only played he's only coached a handful of games so far.
Yeah, it came in January, right? Middle of January.
He only lost his first game yesterday. I even think that was a fluke, because I don't know if it was a fluke. Whatever. He lost. They had a red card. He lost.
Yeah.
But I just don't think all his wins are special. I don't think he's turned the team around. And I don't think there's any way we can really know until we see more evidence from him. And I don't think he can win Premier League. I just don't think he can. Because he hasn't won any league apart from La Liga. And La Liga, they win themselves. PSG win it. Although you can see what's his name and not win. Which is why that kid keeps calling him a fraud. But but yeah, I don't think you use La Liga as a yardstick for a good coach. La Liga, I mean the league for a yardstick. Yeah, it's the first one. Yeah, in France. PSG didn't even finish the season last year and they won. Okay, so he comes here and what are we expecting? Like we think he would just translate that in the Premier League? No. So I don't buy him, and I didn't buy him when he was at Dortmund. I'm not buying him now, and they're not going to win anything this year.
That was really intense.
It's very intense, right?
That was an exclamation point.
But I think you guys worshiping him have made me even more. Before I would have been very, very mild. I don't really care that much about him. I would have been ambivalent about him. But you guys worshiping him has made me very, very anti. You and Idris. No, Idris don't worship him. I don't know.
Worship him. Why would I worship him? Why would I worship him?
EJ, who do you think's better, Tuchel or Hasenhüttl?
Who's better? Okay, Hasenhüttl. I'm not dealing with him. I think
he's done a good job with Southampton. Anyone that could turn Southampton's a decent team.
This is what we always say about these coaches. These coaches that they coach their level of teams. Like you guys almost made Arsenal go get that Bournemouth coach. I can't remember his name now.
His levels.
Their levels. Moyes was levels. You guys have seen it. It's different. Like you guys thought he would translate. Okay, he kept Everton 11 spots for like 10 years, and then you guys thought you could just bring him to United. Oh, I give him a better squad.
Who's you guys? Who's you guys?
Not you, Sir Alex.
That was his choice, and that was a very sentimental.
It's a poor choice.
Yeah, it was. I agree with that.
After that, I realized that no, if you coach a lower team poorly, not poorly, but average, You don't need better players. That's just your level. So, but Tuchel,
Yes,
I like that
Tuchel,
analysis. I
yes,
do like that analysis. To be
Chelsea looks
fair,
good. Chelsea looks good. Chelsea looks
You know what? EJ, you're very contradictory. You know why EJ is contradictory now?
Why?
Because you guys are just giving Arteta, who has done nothing in football with chance, and you're writing off people who have done more.
I
That's what
understand.
you're just
Have they
doing.
done anything though? They've also not done anything though.
Who's that?
Arteta has even won more trophies than Moyes, and Moyes has been coaching for 15 years. So what are
Okay.
you saying?
But I'm not talking about trophies. Let's go back to what you just said. You just said
Okay.
clearly that these people, that's their level, coaching small teams.
Yeah.
That's where they should stay. But you guys just gambled. Arsenal is a big
Yeah,
team,
it's a
right?
gamble.
That's
It's
a big team.
different.
You gambled on somebody who is a
Unknown.
potential. Unknown,
Yeah.
exactly. So there's
So
no, like
why
you
would I
said,
not gamble with an unknown than with a known mediocre coach? I don't think that's
okay.
comparable. That's not comparable. Like,
But
if I know you're
that's a very
mediocre,
weird
I'm
logic.
just accepting mediocre. How is it weird? If I know you're mediocre and
It's a
I'm going
weird
to
logic
accept
because you are
mediocrity.
gambling on what you don't have. You have no,
Yeah.
there's no like, no proven past on Arteta. You prefer
Yes.
that to somebody who has done it. Okay, we'll see.
Yes.
We'll find out. You said 2022. We'll come back to
2022.
this.
Yeah. And if I
let's
lose, I
Ryan.
hold my head up high, say we made a mistake. I think we're allowed to make these errors. We'll be okay.
Okay. So just like you might be a mistake. So Idris says, okay, obviously this Idris, Chelsea fan. Tuchel will come good for Chelsea, but we need to offload players. People are deluded, thinking we are winning with Jorginho, Alonso, and some fraudulent players we have. Let's go to Ryan. What are your thoughts about Tuchel?
I mean, again, like I'm sort of in agreement with EJ. I mean, it's hard to really judge anyone's success when they've coached in leagues like League. I mean, the level of competition there is. I mean, look, that's literally like driving a Ferrari and you're racing Toyota Camrys every week and expecting one day that the Camry will beat this Ferrari. I mean, it's not fair. It's not fair at all. You can't compare. So the fact that, I mean, yes, he has taken them quite far in the Champions League last year, but they didn't win it. So, and that's sort of the benchmark for success with these types of mega teams. And PSG are a mega team; they can buy whoever they want. They've got Neymar and Mbappe in the same team. You need to be winning the Champions League with that sort of team. Teams in Germany are different because these teams are actually quite good, but Bayern's levels are just so much further than everybody else's that decent teams like Dortmund are made to look mediocre when they come up against them. So, if had he come from, say, Germany, a team like Bayern, or say he'd come from Dortmund and they were, going toe-to-toe with Bayern. When he was at Dortmund, they weren't going toe-to-toe with Bayern. They were the second best team, but they weren't close. They were the second best when Bayern was up here and they were all the way down here. So they were the best of the rest. So, I mean, I don't think he's a bad manager by any means. You don't get considered for a PSG job or even a Chelsea job if you're a bad manager. I think he will keep them within, that top winning the league. I don't think he's going to be taking them to win the league. I mean, that's barring unless they get some unbelievable war chest and get to buy whoever the hell they want. So, it all depends on that because if that's the case, if Uncle Abramovich wants to open up his wallet and start, take us back to 2005 and start buying every player, and then 20 years from now, you'll find out that some 40-year-old is still on loan from Chelsea. And I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. He's not a bad manager, but is he one that's going to turn them around? I don't know. I couldn't say.
Yeah. So this is my thoughts, right? And that's what I said straight away, right? Bucci says Tuchel and his praise worshippers is laughing. So these are my thoughts. Immediately he came in, right? I was like, okay, this guy, I've known him. Like I followed the Bundesliga. Dortmund is my second team. Even before I started claiming them, I watched him, and he did well in Dortmund, right? If you remember that season, he actually went toe-to-toe with Pep in his first season. He did go toe-to-toe. But the problem was they sold, and that's kind of what they sold all their players, right? That's when they sold Gundogan, they sold Mkhitaryan, and he fell out of the board. I think he's a good coach. I think he has like a good experience, like from Mainz, from Dortmund, which I think he did very well. He coached. He went to PSG 2 times a day. He won the league. Yes, and I think the only black mark that kind of is on his resume is the time he lost to a very wicked United team, right? He lost to Solskjaer that year.
Yeah.
We came back to beat them. That's the only black mark. Last year, they got to the final of Champions League. They could have won it. It wasn't like Bayern
They
overran
could
them.
have.
That was a very close game. I think
It was
they should
close,
have
but
won. In my opinion.
they should have won, but they had stage fright. I don't know why. I do know why.
But is that on the manager on the players? Because Di Maria, they had chances.
Yes, the players.
They couldn't
They had
take their
good players.
chances. So the point I'm trying to make is, I do not know, just like you, Ryan, and everybody, but I jumped on it because I just saw like EJ, multiple people on the group like, oh, it's going to be terrible. I'm like, what? Like, based on what? How do you know this? And I say this because, Ryan, if you remember, this is the same thing people said about Klopp when Klopp came. It was the same thing. I'm like, people jumped on this, oh, this is not German league, this is not this. I'm like, wait a minute. Are we talking of David Moyes here? Are we talking of Tuchel? No, it's true. I'm like, I was watching something like, if everybody was neutral about him or just one of it was the general consensus that it's going to be terrible. I'm like, what? Based on what? This guy is a good coach, and you can see the transformation in Chelsea.
I want to reiterate that yes, I may have used those words, but my ultimate point is that I don't think he will be what Chelsea needs him to be. I don't think they will ever give him enough time to see that. I think they will spend everything they need to spend in the next transfer window this summer. But and if he doesn't win by the following spring, he's gonna be out. Yeah, I just think I saw them remove. What's that coach that won the league? Conte. I saw them fire Conte the next season. I'm sorry. After that, I'm like, you guys fire anyone. They win or lose, they're gone.
Yeah, right. That's no argument, man. No argument. They gave him an 18-month contract. Think about it. And he admitted like that. I got 18 months. He got 18 months. So he knows. Yeah, he knows. No, he knows what he knows it. But just the last thing I'd like to say about this is what Ryan said. It's the money. Like you said, Chelsea could go crazy this summer. And when I mean go crazy, they could get like Haaland. They get like a big transformational signing. If they get that, that could change everything. You know, especially depending on how next season pans out. Because they have a very good squad. Chelsea do have a good squad, in my opinion. I said at the beginning of the season, I think they have the second best squad in the league. I think so. I really do. Yeah, I think
who are their forwards?
So that Timo Werner, Havertz, like that's a good squad. But in other positions, when it comes from there, that's why they fired the manager, right? That's why they fired the manager. That's why they fired the manager.
He has still not scored. He has still not scored. Am I right? Has he scored on that?
He scored.
Okay.
Under Tuchel.
Yeah.
No. The point I'm trying to make is that's why they fired the manager. That was there, right?
Okay. Right.
Yeah. So maybe you can say they are par with Liverpool. You can say that's fair. I just think they have more depth than Liverpool. They have more depth. That's where
we don't have depth. We don't have depth in that squad.
Yeah,
Liverpool's teams have no depth.
Yeah. They have more depth. So that's just all I'm saying. Like, Tuchel is not a manager. You just say, like there's some managers that Chelsea has gotten. Like what's this guy? Allegri. I'm like, nah, they don't win the league. Forget what he's done in Jubilee. Like, I was like, nah, this is just a waste of time because now he now has to come and coach a different style. He has to go on defensive football. Like, at least I'm seeing progression in what they're trying to do, you know. And personally, I cannot write him off. I need to see the signings he gets. I cannot write him off. But I also agree that he might not win. So that's all for Chelsea. Let's go to.
I'll stop writing him off.
No, you can do what you want. You just stay down. Let's just chat quickly about Spurs. Quickly. What is your predicted top four? Let's start with Ryan.
Predicted top four
now? Yeah.
I'm going for Man City, United, Leicester, and I'm going to back my boys, us Liverpool. I think we will squeeze into the top four. Don't ask me how, but don't ask me how. You probably won't. I'm putting on it. I'm manifesting it that we will squeeze into the top four somehow.
Squeeze into the top four last minute. Okay. It's kind of up in the air now. It's like there's it's open season now. EJ.
Oh yeah.
Top four.
City, United. The rest are. I think Liverpool will sneak in as well. I think they have a better run in. Now Leicester. It's hard for me to pick between Leicester and Chelsea. It's very hard. I just don't know how you can say Chelsea won't finish it. I think Chelsea can even finish 2, but then they lost yesterday. So, what point number are they on right now?
Chelsea is 4. I think they're fourth at the moment.
Oh, okay.
points?
Yeah, number of points.
What's 51?
Points, sorry.
51.
Yeah, 51, because
51.
we're 2 points behind them. Yeah.
You're 49, Chelsea's 51. Leicester City is third, and then United is what, 58?
60. We're 60 now.
Oh, you've hit 60. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Solid second.
What's Leicester's point?
Leicester is on 57, I think. Let me just check real quick.
Chelsea's out. If
Chelsea's
if Leicester is 7, I put Leicester in. And I'll leave Chelsea out. I think Chelsea.
You Chelsea out? Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just go. So Leicester is 56. Leicester is 56. Chelsea's 51.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Tottenham's 49. Liverpool's 49.
Everton have 2 games in hand, but they'll mess that up.
Everton not doing that.
Yeah.
They'll mess it up. Don't worry. That's standard.
That's true. They have 2 games in hand. Yeah, that's true. So if they win their 2 games in hand, oh wow,
they
yeah, they can jump.
They won't. They'll draw one and lose the other one. Don't even have to check. One of them they'll draw. They'll lose the other one.
All right. So EJ is saying what? Man City, Man United, Leicester.
I think Liverpool sneaks in ahead of Chelsea. If Leicester is that far ahead, yeah. Woo,
yeah, Leicester is that far ahead.
So
I don't expect them to bottle it. Spurs, no chance for Spurs. No chance.
God.
They drew.
Just look at them today. I mean, even if you just watch the game today, like they should be winning that game with ease, but somehow they just mess it up. It's like some teams are just it's predetermined that no matter how well they play, they will mess it up somehow. Spurs is one of those teams.
Even though they have the ultimate mentality, person like everybody keeps saying.
I know.
Crazy. Yeah. Let's go to comments. Zaza says Tuchel had problems with players at PSG, combustible star. Players pushed him out. No, actually, he had problems not with the players. He had problems with their director of football, Leonardo. That's who they fell out. Because he wanted to keep. I don't want to do issues that he wanted to keep Thiago Silva, and Leonardo said no. Yeah, and I think the major problems was actually with the director. I don't think it was the players. Next comment says Timorina missed 14 clear goals. Is that just your head, or is that backed by stats? Because 14 clear goals. That's an exaggeration, but hey, maybe it's true. I don't know. I'm not just a fan. Idris says you do not have a creative player.
I'm telling you, I don't think
Bruno.
Chelsea squad doesn't inspire me. I'm like, who else is there? Who's in their midfield that's creating? Is Mason Mount creative? No.
Mason, no, not really. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, I don't think
how much was supposed to be that person? But you're right. They don't really have a natural creative. Havertz is not really a creative. Even if he plays as a 10, he's one of those people that he drifts, right? He's a false 9-10 that drifts to the wing. So yes, he's not like
he's not to the right.
Central midfielder. You're right. Yeah, you're right about that, and that's probably what they need to get next season. I hope that Kante stays fit.
Oh yeah.
What someone said? Says someone posted a Facebook video. I guess it's responding. Says he missed 14 chances.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So West Ham. Let's talk about West Ham. No love for West Ham.
West Ham. No, I think West Ham will. At some point, I think the pressure will get to them, and they will just sort of slip off. But I do think they'll probably finish in those Europa League spots, though. I mean, is it 2 Europa League spots that they get with 3? 2. Yeah, I think West Ham.
I think seven goes into the playoffs. I think.
7. Yeah, they go to the Conference League.
I think West Ham will get one of the automatic promotion places. They've been really good this season. Lingardinho doing his thing.
I'm happy for him. I really am happy for him.
Oh, I am. Do you know what? I always made fun of him at United, but do you know what? At some point, it becomes too much, and you have to remember. We all laugh behind the screen. Even Werner, sometimes I feel sorry for. They're human beings. You can troll all you want, but then when you can see it, it looks like it's starting to affect them personally. They had to take a little step back, but I am happy for him. He's doing because it's not for United mainly. And I don't care about West Ham, so I'm happy he's enjoying his football again. He's got his England recall and all of that. When he goes back to United, I'll continue abusing him. It's okay.
Is this his level? Do you think, Ayo? Do you think he stays at West Ham, or I mean,
I think
you think this is
so.
his
I
level?
think if he's
Okay.
smart, I think this is level. I
Yeah,
really think
I
so.
think so
Okay.
too. I agree.
It's just the way we are set up. We're like what Bucci's
Right.
saying, like players figure it out by themselves, like chaos type thing. I think this is level. In my opinion, if he wants to keep up this level of performance, he should just stay there. Like we're not a team. We're not like we don't have a systems coach. I think that is very critical for like average or slightly above average players to thrive. Once you don't have a system coach, what's going to happen is going to come, and when he has like a bad part, people will get on his back and criticize him.
Okay.
Like that's what's going to happen. Like Rashford kind of was almost getting there until he made that jump last season, and I stayed there. And I think with Rashford, at least Rashford has pace and he can score. Like he's a good finisher, right? But Lingard is a
This is
midfielder, so
younger. Yeah.
yeah. So that, and he's younger, yes. So that's what I think. I think he should just stay there and I just enjoy his football because he can consistently be in the England squad because of that. So I think he should just stay there. If I'm him and his agent, I'll just stay and say, you know what, just, even if United try to come back, say you like to move, like put in a transfer request and just go. That's what I think. I think that would be good for him. A club like that.
Yes. Some players thrive in those types of teams. There's less pressure, so
Exactly. There's less pressure. City. Let's talk about them. Nobody really cares about that team. Typically, the plastic team. Nobody cares. But let's just give them some. Just in case there are any City fans watching. You think they'll win the quadruple or the treble? Or the double?
I think they'll win the treble. The quadruple. I don't think they'll win the Champions League. I'm being honest. I don't think City. I think they'll mess. Or PSG will win it before City. And I don't see City. winning the Champions League. No, I don't see them winning it. Like, I think if they were in the same bracket,
they will retire repeat 2019. That's what you're saying. They will repeat 2019 all over again.
Did they win the treble in 2019? City?
When they won,
yeah,
the domestic treble.
All right. Yeah. I think they'll do it. I mean, I hope they don't do it, but I think they'll do it. I don't think they'll win the Champions League, though. I mean, that's wishful thinking. Mostly. Can they win it? Absolutely. They're good enough to win it.
They're good enough.
I think at some point in the Champions League, they'll mess it up. I don't see them winning it. I don't know why. It's just historical knowledge of teams like City. They always... when everything is going too well for you, something happens and it spoils it. And they just won't win it. They won't beat. They can beat us. They'd probably easily beat us, but they won't beat PSG. I don't think they'll beat Bayern. And those two are. I think they'll do. They'll both those teams will do City. I don't think in the Champions League they look as comfortable when they play decent teams. When they play, a lot of the time they play these lesser teams and they dismantle them completely. Yeah. But when they come up against a half decent team in the Champions League, their heads fall off and they fall apart.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. EJ.
Okay. I just can't say they'll win the quadruple. I think it will be hard. But it's also interesting because we did the whole bracket thing last week, and I can't see them not winning the Champions League. When you line all the pieces up, it's them at the end. So I don't know where they will falter because they already have the league in the bag. And I think if they get to are they in the final of the Carling Cup, Carabao Cup?
Yeah,
so they're going to win that one.
Sports.
Yeah, and then I can't see them losing to Chelsea at FA Cup. And I think Ayo's getting that they will lose the FA Cup because based on what he said before. But I don't see that happening. So I think ultimately they may win the quadruple. But like Ryan says, there's always a chance for them to mess up. 2 years ago when they should have been the one that beat Spurs, but they lost to Spurs in the quarters, I think, right?
Yeah.
They were robbed completely. That was a handball goal. Should not have happened. But whatever. They still kind of messed up. They still were always so close and yet so far. So maybe they're going to do the same thing this year. I don't know. I think if they miss out on the quadruple, it will be Champions League. That's my final answer. Yeah. But I think they're likely going to win the quadruple. And I'll clap for Pep. I don't hate Pep like the rest of you guys. So I'll tip my hat to him if he wins the quadruple.
So like this, you guys, you know, I mean, I've been called Pep fanboy pretty much all my time on the Facebook group. So I'm a big fan of this type of football. People say it's boring. I just feel like his type of football is the most sustainable type of football over a long-term period. if you once you get the player, right? He's a top player, he's a top manager, so he's gonna always get quality players. I just feel this type of football is the most sustainable, in my opinion. I just think they'll win the Champions League because now I just want to look at it very. Let me go with what our regular City fan on here says, Yannicka. The thing that has always messed City up in the last 3-4 years under Pep has been what? Defending. They conceded a lot of goals to Liverpool. Liverpool knocked them out. They conceded a lot of goals at the back. When Lyon did it last year, they conceded like goals on the break, 3 goals. When Spurs did it the year before, what happened? They conceded a lot of goals. That second leg. And what is it that they are good at this season? Clean sheets, keeping it tight. You don't get like that's the one thing. When she said that, I thought about it. I thought about it deeply. I'm like, wow, like that's exactly what they're good at. They are very good at keeping it tight, keeping it close, and they're patient. Like, okay, you don't want to come out, that's fine. We're not going to commit everybody forward. If you want to beat us, come and we'll hit you on the break. Or if you sit back, we'll pick you apart. Like move the ball, move your defense from side to side. We can score with set pieces now. John Stones and Diaz. When I look at them, and I know football, right? There's the magic of football. Anything can happen. That's fair. Yeah. I agree. But just logically, when I just think of it, I think they will win Champions League, and I'm hoping they get knocked out of the Cup because if they win the quadruple, why get there? I kind
of. See, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of the Champions League. Logic really prevails. It's
you're right. You're absolutely right.
Every other tournament, most leagues. Except when it's Liverpool, logic prevails because I think Liverpool are the exception to the rule with so many. Whenever it comes to the league, apart from last season, every year before that, any statistic that you put out there, Liverpool is that exception to the rule, the variable, the variable. Logic, I don't think comes into play in the Champions League because there's just that much craziness happens. I mean, by all means, like you said, I agree with you completely. On paper. Based on consistency in their domestic performances, etc., the quality of the league, all things considered, City should be comfortably winning the Champions League. However, City should have comfortably been winning the Champions League for the last 5 years as well, because
that's true.
On paper, and it's the same Pep, on paper, they've had probably even better teams over the years and have played even better football than we see the year they got the 101 points. The football was flawless. Something always happens. It could be the year that it changes. Who knows? I'm hoping it's not. But I think it will be another year where something happens and just messes it up for them. They want it too bad, and I think when you want something too bad and you're expecting to win it, something will go wrong.
If he does win it, though, I think he's the best manager.
They win it once.
Ever.
The world is in trouble because they're going to be winning it for a few years. They'll do a Real Madrid and win it like 5 in a row.
Please don't say that. I will.
I know exactly. So you better.
Oh Lord, it is what it is at this point. Relegation. Let's move on quickly away from City to relegation. Let's end with relegation. What are your thoughts about the relegation contenders? Like, how do you think that's gonna go?
Let's go. In the bottom 3 now. Sorry, okay. EJ, go on first, please. No, EJ, please.
Who's in relegation right now? Who's the top team in relegation? Because I know Sheffield is bottom.
Sheffield is bottom, then followed by West Brom, then it's Fulham. But it's so close because right now it's Fulham's on 26 points. Newcastle is on 29 points. So it's 3 points.
Okay.
But Newcastle have a game in hand.
Yeah.
West Brom is on 21. 21.
Okay, there are only 8 games left. 8 to 9 games left, depending on what team you are. So there are 24, 20-something points up for grabs. No, those 3 teams are going down, including Fulham.
I'm with you on that one. I agree. Yeah. I don't think anything is going to change. They might just change slight positions.
Yes,
the fates are sealed. I think Newcastle thrive. Newcastle is used to this. This is their bread and butter. This 17.
I want them to go down so badly. I
like Newcastle. I like Newcastle.
I don't like Mike Ashley.
I hate Mike Ashley.
Let me be fair for the fans. Yes, maybe not. But the reason why I say this is like they just run the club so badly and just expect this every time. And I thought they were going to, before this weekend, I was like, oh, Yannicka's going to go down. But then they put up this display today. I'm like, what? Where did this come from against Spurs? They almost beat Spurs. They probably should have beat Spurs. Yeah, it's like, where did that come from? And Fulham, started well, but then I fell apart last.
They're
10
so
minutes.
boring to watch. Just certain teams that just bore me to death. Fulham is one of them. I hate Fulham so much.
Oh, really?
I have a dislike for a club. I just don't like Fulham. I hate the stadium. I think they play boring.
Wow.
I never like them. Just certain teams you just don't enjoy watching. Norwich is another. Well, I like playing Norwich because we beat them, but it's just another team I do not enjoy watching in the Prem. West Brom will go down. They'll come right back up.
I know they'll come back.
That's them. This is a yo-yo team. Sheffield United. It would be sad to see Sheffield United. They were tough. Last season they were, a bit of a nightmare for everyone. They're a nuisance. So terrible. Yeah, they did. They definitely did. Yeah, that high intensity football, like you talk about sustainable football, their style of play is definitely not sustainable. That'll burn you out.
People suss them out. They're overlapping centre backs. I mean, just went during the break and just figured out, okay, these are people that are coming forward. Yeah, okay. Premiership is a copycat league, right? One person just copied, everybody just followed through. And
that's it.
Sure.
I think we've come to the end. EJ, you said relegation same way. I'm still hoping because of my Nigerian bias, and I'm hoping Fulham stays because of the Nigerian guys there. Lukman, Aina.
Aren't they all on loan?
Almost all of them. Yeah, I think they're all on loan. Yes, Aina is on loan.
Go back to their home. Yeah. I know my boy.
I like Parker. I like the Parker. He's in that fashion men's warehouse thing.
Let him do that in the championship. Let him go and do that.
The championship. Wow. Tell us how you really feel. Yeah. This was fun, EJ. Idris, if you're watching this, like, share, subscribe. It's going to be a couple of minutes. The full pod will be on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe to our content on our social media. Maybe take the last comment. I think there's the last comment. Oh, Idris says, Niger bias, Peckham boys. That's true. That's literally true. That's why I'm rooting for them. But it looks like it might be fizzling out. But we'll see. I still think they can go through because I don't trust West. I don't trust Steve Bruce, and I don't trust Newcastle. Steve Bruce is famous for red.
We'll see.
All right, EJ, thank you. Thanks for joining. Ryan, thanks for coming. Also,
thanks for having me. It was good.
Everybody,
good to chat.
Catch you on the next one.
I think
I've ended the podcast.